Ditching his orange prison jumpsuit for street clothes, 26-year-old Luigi Mangione walked shackled into the New York courthouse flanked by law enforcement. Unlike last week's federal proceedings, cameras were allowed inside the courtroom. Monday marked his first opportunity to formally address the 11 charges brought by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, including one of murder in the first degree and 2 of murder in the second degree, along with other weapons and forgery charges included in these terror charges.
How do you plead to this indictment, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Mangione's attorney, Karen Friedman Agnifilo, expressed her concern for her client's ability to get a fair trial.
He's a young man, and he is being treated like a human ping pong ball between 2 warring jurisdictions here. These federal and state prosecutors are coordinating with one another, but at the expense of him.
The judge insisted the trial will be fair and the jury will be selected carefully. Meanwhile, the prosecution laid out what they described as an abundance of evidence in the case.
I have never seen a case with such volume of evidence.
In the weeks since United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson's murder in Midtown Manhattan, the case has gained notoriety, with Mangione being made into something of a dark folk hero online by a public enraged with the profit-seeking behavior of the insurance industry. Members of the public, including 24 women and 6 men, sat in the courtroom to watch the hearing unfold Monday. The next court date has been set for February 21st.
The crime of murder in the first degree and other related charges. How do you plead to this indictment, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Accused killer Luigi Mangione back in court, this time for the charges he faces in New York State, wearing khakis and a maroon sweater, shackled at the wrists and ankles. The camera in court capturing the 26-year-old as he faces 11 state charges that include murder in the first degree and murder in the second degree as a crime of terrorism for the alleged killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
He's a young man, and he is being treated like a human ping pong ball.
His attorney slamming the way Mangione was paraded before cameras when being brought back to New York City from Pennsylvania.
They are literally treating him like he is like some sort of political fodder, like some sort of spectacle.
During the arraignment, with rare camera access being allowed to record the proceedings, prosecutors disclosing just how much evidence they have.
I have never seen a case with such volume of evidence, aside from the issue of the quality of the evidence. This is not a usual case in terms of the thousands of hours of video tracking and the like.
Mangione seen smiling at times while talking with his legal team. Outside court, a small group of protesters gathered to voice their support for Mangione. The hearing ended with Mangione casually folding some papers before police escorted him away.
Luigi, you have anything to say?
Mangione also faces federal charges that include murder through the use of a firearm. The state trial is expected to come first. Mangione faces a maximum sentence of life in prison for the state charges, and prosecutors could decide to seek a death penalty in the federal case.
Folks are working hard to try and process what's happened and to try and figure out what comes next. We're working hard to look after each other, and we're working hard to make sure those great ideas and that drive that Brian brought to improve healthcare across America continue to be a priority for the organization. And make no mistake, they will be.
It's a high-profile case that will now likely involve 2 separate trials. Luigi Mangione faces federal charges and New York State charges in the death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Mangione was extradited Thursday from Pennsylvania to New York, where he faced a slew of federal charges, including a firearms offense, 2 stalking charges, and murder through use of a firearm. If found guilty, he faces a maximum sentence of either the death penalty or life in prison. His attorneys dodging questions about the federal case.
Karen, do you have any comment on these charges today?
Not at this time. Thank you so much.
The federal criminal complaint describes chilling details about contents inside a notebook that authorities say was found on Mangione when he was arrested at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania earlier this month. According to the criminal complaint, the notebook contains several handwritten pages that express hostility towards the health insurance industry, and one entry dated October 22, 2024, describes intent to, quote, whack the CEO of one of the insurance companies.
We always talk about motive opportunity means all three of those elements are addressed and captured in the criminal complaint as well as his notebook.
Mangione is expected to be arraigned in New York Monday, where he faces 11 state charges, including first-degree murder as an act of terrorism.
It was targeted, premeditated, and meant to sow terror.
Luigi, do you have anything to say?
Luigi, want to say something?
Yes.
Stay inside the press box.
北美最大的华语新闻平台洛杉矶华人资讯网诚聘新闻主播，要求普通话标准流利，由主播经验者优先，拥有新闻媒体相关记者从业经验或同等专业毕业院校，熟悉新媒体 YouTube 等运作，了解政治经济新闻，能胜任基本的新闻点评和互动，熟悉新闻稿编译撰写或有相关能力，请录制一段1分钟自我介绍视频。感兴趣的朋友们，请您将简历及视频发送至 hr@chinese.la.com， 欢迎您的加入。